Have you ever heard the story of the real-life blue people of Kentucky? It's not science fiction. It's one of the most fascinating cases in medical history. Deep in the isolated hills of Troublesome Creek, Kentucky, a legend was born that would baffle doctors for generations. It all started around 1820, when a French orphan named Martin Fugates settled in the area. He married a local woman named Elizabeth Smith. What neither of them knew was that they both carried a rare recessive gene. This gene caused a condition called methemoglobinemia, which reduces the blood's ability to carry oxygen. When this happens, the blood turns a dark, chocolate-brown color, and shockingly, it makes a person's skin turn blue. 4 of their 7 children were born with blue skin. Because Troublesome Creek was so remote and isolated, the community was incredibly small. Over time, the Fugates and their neighbors like the Combs, the Smiths, and the Richies all started intermarrying. This meant that the rare recessive gene, which would normally disappear in a larger population, kept getting passed down and showing up more and more frequently. For the next 150 years, the blue Fugates became a local legend. They were a common sight in the hollows and creeks of the region. Some were described as being a light, sky blue, while others were a deep indigo or even plum color. But here's the amazing part. Aside from their skin color, they were perfectly healthy. They lived long, full lives, often into their 80s and 90s. However, the outside world wasn't always kind. The social stigma was intense. People viewed them as strange, even monstrous, so they mostly kept to themselves, hidden away in the Appalachian Mountains. The mystery of the blue people of Kentucky remained unsolved until the 1960s. That's when a young hematologist, a blood specialist named Dr. Madison K. Wayne from the University of Kentucky, heard the rumors. Intrigued, he decided to investigate. He traveled into the mountains, determined to find them. After a lot of searching, he finally tracked down 2 members of the family, a brother and sister named Patrick and Rachel Stacy. Dr. Wayne later described them as being blue as a lake, Louise. He expected them to be sick, but they weren't. They were just deeply embarrassed by their appearance. They had spent their lives trying to avoid attention. Dr. Wayne took blood samples and brought them back to his lab. After running tests, he discovered the root of the problem. They were missing a specific enzyme, one that their bodies needed to convert the blue methemoglobin back into normal red hemoglobin. Their bodies were producing the blue stuff, but couldn't get rid of it. So, Dr. Wayne came up with a brilliantly counterintuitive solution. He decided to inject them with a substance called methylene blue. Yes, you heard that right, a bright blue dye. Seems completely backward, but he had a theory. He believed the blue dye could act as an electron donor, effectively doing the job of the missing enzyme and kickstarting the chemical process to turn their blood red again. The result was nothing short of miraculous. Within minutes of the injection, the blue color began to fade from Patrick and Rachel's skin. The first time in their lives, they turned a normal rosy pink. Can you imagine that moment? Seeing your natural skin tone after a lifetime of being blue? The cure wasn't permanent, but it was simple. All they had to do was take a small pill of methylene blue each day to maintain their pink complexion. It was a beautiful irony. They had to consume something blue to stop being blue. Dr. Wayne gave them a supply of pills, and for the rest of their lives, they could finally blend in with the outside world. So, what happened to the blue Fugates? As coal mining and railroads brought more people and opportunities to eastern Kentucky, the isolation of Troublesome Creek began to break down. The younger generations of the Fugate family started moving away, marrying people from outside their small community. As they did, the gene pool diversified, and that rare recessive gene became rare once again. Today, the blue skin has almost entirely vanished from the family line. The gene is still out there, hiding in their DNA, but the chances of 2 carriers meeting and having a blue-skinned child are now astronomically low. The story of the blue people of Kentucky is a powerful reminder of how genetics, geography, and isolation can create a reality that seems stranger than fiction. It's a haunting, beautiful piece of American medical history. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story as incredible as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing tales from the pages of history. See you next time.